Hello everyone. This is a live session, and in this session, we will be setting up a development environment. And this development environment will be to develop cloud native applications. And it will be uh, a set of tools and softwares which we will use to run our code. Uh, so we need a platform, we need an environment where we can write, compile, test, and run our code. So this could be challenging, for beginners or intermediate developers. So my goal here is to help you understand the prerequisites and install all the modern Java stack, including JDK, Maven, Git, Docker, Kubernetes, and then be able to create simple applications and test it out, even build cloud native microservices which are production ready. So let's start. So let's first start with our system requirements. So hardware requirements or your system requirement for developing cloud native Java applications are very minimal. You need a CPU. Ideally, it should be a dual core or quad core CPU, uh, and we don't need very intensive uh, multi-core CPUs, but it should be a decent one. We need to run containers, multiple containers. So if we have a modern CPU, performance will be better. And multiple services, if you want to run on your local machine for testing purpose, then you have to go for multi-core processors. RAM requirement should be 8 GB minimum, but recommended would be 16 GB because we will be running Docker, we will be running Kubernetes clusters. So even if we run lightweight version of Minikube, which is a Kubernetes local environment, uh, you would need sufficient RAM. You may run an IDE, integrated development environment. So that will also need decent RAM. So that's why I'm recommending 16 GB. Now your storage, you should have around 100 GB of hard disk space or SDD space. These days we have solid state drives. So we need 100 GB of storage because we will be installing JDK, we will be installing Docker images, we will be having multiple containers running, and as you will be accumulating images, your space will be getting consumed. So having 100 GB free space is recommended. But yeah, even if you have 50 GB, that should be sufficient. So if you are running on Windows, then you should have Windows 10 or Windows 11, both will do. Uh, Mac OS 10.15 or later will be sufficient, or you can use Linux machines, Ubuntu, Fedora, which is recent release like Ubuntu 20, Fedora 32, any modern distribution with the kernel 4.x or higher will be sufficient. So for Windows users, we may run Linux, Windows subsystem for Linux. This will run Docker and Kubernetes better, and it is compatible also better. So now let's begin. Let's say start with our command line. So let me open the command line and we will begin installing. But before we install, we should also know the architecture of our machine. So I'll begin by how can you identify the architecture of your machine. So just give me a minute. I'm starting my terminal. So I have started my terminal. So here I have a Mac OS running on my local. As you can see, I will also increase the font size so that it is properly visible for all of you. Now, as you see here, I'm trying to first understand the architecture of my machine. So you see here, I have uh, RM64. That's the architecture of my machine. And so this is the command u name -m. This will give you the architecture of your machine. So just I'm also signing up on the chat for also to interact with you over the chat. So this is what I'm trying to do. Just give me a minute. Let me log into the chat. Have the chat. So in case you are having any doubts, you can interact, ask your queries, and I will be able to uh, answer your queries in the real time through chat. So that's what I'm doing right now. Let me get into the chat. So now you have the YouTube chat. So yeah, so first command which we saw was this uname -m. So this is for understanding the architecture of your machine. Okay. Now next thing is what will this command do? Command will print the architecture of your machine. Now if you are running on Windows, you may use another command. I'm just putting it in the chat. I won't be able to demonstrate, but I'm able to put this in the chat so that you can run it if you are running on the Windows. If you face any problem, just share over the chat. You can do it on chat if you are watching it live, or if you are watching a recording, then you can leave a comment. So now we know the architecture of your machine. So next thing is, now why do we need to know the architecture? Because we have to install Java and we have to select the right package for various tools. So whether it's JDK, Docker, Kubernetes, we need to know the architecture. So as I know, I have Mac OS and it is ARM64 architecture. Now next thing is we have to install JDK. Now to install JDK, we can go to the Oracle site, and this is the site to download Java. And then let me open the site and let me download the Java. So here, this is the Java. Java, you can also check if it is already installed on your system, because the command which you need to run to check whether Java is installed is Java version. So you run this. So there is no Java right now in my system. So that's why we need to install it. If you have Java, then you will get a message saying Java version so and so is available. What's the Java runtime version? What's the Java hotspot VM which is running? All that details you will see. But we don't have Java installed right now. So let me install this from the Oracle website. So now I'm in the Oracle website and there is a Java downloads page. So we have here Java 25, earlier versions can also be installed. So we can choose Java JDK 25. So here we have ARM64. So I can choose this as my architecture. So this is how I will be installing the JDK. So the JDK installation is simple, but I have to choose the right operating system. So I have to choose this one or Linux, this one. And now I can download the compressed archive. It will get downloaded. It's around 200 MB. So once your package is downloaded, you have to unzip it. And once it gets unzipped, untarred, then you have to set the Java home. So you have to set the path of Java. So in case now this process is different for Windows and MacBook. So I will share that how to do this for both the platforms. So important thing is Java home is the environment variable which is used by Java application. Let me type the name of this variable, environment variable. And now my Java should be downloaded. So let me open it and unzip it. So I have got the yeah, I have got the Java unzipped. Now where should I install this is the next question. Where should I unzip it? So what I will do is I will run the Java home. So let me try to print Java home if this is already set. So you see here, this is not set. If you have installed Java, then you would have this installed, this set, and you will see the path. Now let me go to my so I'm at the root, I'm at the home. So let me cd to /user directory. Then let me cd to local directory. Let me see. Yeah, here we have local. So I will look and I will ls here. So here I can install the JDK. I can unzip and place this in this particular location. So let me do it. I'm just doing it by dragging and dropping the tar. You may run various commands. So there are different ways of doing it. But the easiest way is I'll go to my downloads and I have got the JDK unzipped. So let me first do creation of the directory. JDK, I'll create. Okay, I'm not having the permissions. So we have to run sudo mkdir jdk, and then I will put my password. So yeah, now I have entered the password successfully. Let me show you. So the password is there, and then I will run let do ls. So you see here the JDK folder has been created. In this JDK folder, I'll copy the content of whatever I have downloaded. So let me go here to my folder. So let me show you what I am doing. So I am, as you can see here in the local, I have just typed in the folder which I should open, and I have opened this JDK folder in my Explorer, and I'll be copying the my downloaded and unzipped version of JDK in this particular location. Again, it's asking me to type the password because this folder is protected. Only the admin permission will have uh, the access to update this folder. So now this is done. So this is what now the Java is installed. Now I can set the Java path by going here, and then I can even choose to put the exact location. So here I have this location which is JDK hyphen 25.0.1 dot JDK. So let me say JDK 25.0.1. There is hyphen after JDK, and then is there anything else? So dot JDK. So this is the entire location where I have installed Java. So let me do this. Now if I say Java home, to use a dollar symbol because this is so you see here this Java home variable is set. So this completes the installation. Now if I run the Java version command, so here let me cd jdk. So here anyway this is set as the path, but this is not sufficient, you see here, because there should be a bin folder here. Okay, so there is contents folder, and then within the contents folder there is Mac OS folder, ls. Okay, then there is home folder, and within this there is bin folder. And now I can run so this command, which is Java version. So this is Java hyphen hyphen version. This is also, let me see, here there is so now this is confirming that there is Java which is installed. Perfect. So these were the steps. Now let me put this in the, let me update the Java home. So I'm updating the Java home here by again giving exactly this path. So you see here, this is the exact path which should be set for Java home. So now I should paste this. Okay. Now if I do Java home, you see here, this is correctly put. Let me go to my home directory. Let me see if I have this available. So sorry, this is Java version, and still the path could not be found. Let me close this, open the terminal again, then probably the path would be found. So this is how we will be installing the Java. There are other ways of installing Java. There are various other ways. Other way which I like is using SDK man. So there is, let me point you to even a better tool to install Java. This is mostly I use as less hassle, because now I have set the Java home path, but still I have to set it in the resource file, bash resource file or ZSS resource file, based on which shell I'm using for a Mac OS. So this way, no, it will be preserved even I close the terminal. But for Windows, you have to go to system properties, and in the path, at the path, in the path variable, you can create new environment variable. You have to set the Java home as well. So this is the entire steps. But yeah, as I was suggesting, that there is another tool which is called SDK man. This is even better to install Java, because you just have to do the curl on this particular uh, tool. So let me show you that as well. So here I have a terminal. Let me run this command. It will download the SDK man. So it is see loading SDK man. Let me open it in full screen so that you can see. You see here nice ASCII art which says SDK. This is for managing all the SDKs. Now, once you have all the SDKs, I can use this to download any of the Java tools, and this is really very handy. I will point you to the my blog, where I have described in detail about how to use SDK man, and this will give you complete documentation about how to install Java using SDK man. So let me show you this particular blog post. So where you can maintain or manage your entire tool chain using SDK min. So you see here so many tools and languages could be installed using this tool. And this is very simple tool. You just have to give a command. Let me show you this. This will be very useful, and you will not need to do things manually. So here first command is SDK list. So first thing is, now you have this SDK installed. So they are asking me to open a new terminal because this is a new installation. And once I open a new terminal, so let me open the new terminal window. I have opened it in the side. Then let me increase the font as well. They're asking me to run this command, source, then slash users home, then dot SDK man slash bin slash SDK man init dot sh. So they have created a startup script or setup script to have this. Now SDK help I should use, it will run, and you see here it gives SDK help. Now I should give the command. So let me get out of this. Yeah, it's already. So as I said, this command SDK list will list all the softwares which you can install. You see here, so big list with description what all softwares could be installed. So for example, if you want to install Maven, that could also be done from here. So perfect. Now, so I can install Java also here. So here I can say SDK install Java. I can give the version also. So here, for example, 25. But let me see if I can list Java. So you see here all the distributions of Java is listed here. Let's say we want to install this version from Amazon. Then you have to give this as an identifier. If we want to install something from java.net, so there are all the versions available. So let's say this is Oracle. This one we want to install. So then I would say SDK install Java, and I will give the identifier, and this will install Java 25. So you see here, this is very hassle free. It can install you the required software very easily and without having manual setup, like setting up the Java home or path variable is not required here. And here Java will be in the path editing. So similarly, we can kind of install Kotlin, Scala, Groovy. So a lot of things we can install using these commands. So now in the meantime, I'll also give the link to the blog so that you can also go through this and understand this process very easily. So this is the link to my Medium blog, which is about SDK Men, where I have covered how to install all the softwares. So now let me say Java version. When I do this, it will print out the version which is installed in this machine. So now next thing is we can install the Maven. Maven is the build tool. You may not need to install the Maven. We may also need to install Git. So all these things we can do with SDK man. So let me demonstrate. So here SDK man. So we will give the command SDK. Let me list Maven. So it will show what all Maven packages are there. So local version installed. So I don't have anything installed. So let me install some version, which is the latest version, which is 3.9.2. So let me come to here, SDK install Maven, and then I will give the identifier, which is 3.9.12. So it will install this. So now my Maven is also installed, right? And everything which is related to setup is also taken care by SDK. Now let me see if I can install Git. Git is not available in this in SDK. So to install Git, what we have to do is we have to go to the Git site. So let me give you help about how to do that. So let's go to the Git website. I will be also sharing about this website. in the chat. So this is the website to install Git, to download Git. Git is a version control software. So you can install for Mac by clicking here. So here they have given various options. So brew install. Brew is another good tool to install various packages. So I can use it. Brew install Git. Brew is not found. So I need to install the brew. So to install brew, but for Windows, there will be a different method. But yeah, let me show you this in the Mac, and also will give you instructions about how to do it in Windows. So now this script is installing brew, and once brew is installed, then we will install Git. So it's downloading Xcode. It might take some time. It should take few minutes. I have a pretty good internet connection. Yeah, you might have a even better connection. Depending on your location, this speed may vary about how the installation happens. So in the meantime, while this installation is happening, let me show you the site for Git, and also show you instructions for Windows how to install it. So this is the Git website. Here we can install the binaries. So you see here so homebrew is one option which we followed. There is Mac ports. There's another way to install, and definitely it requires Xcode command line tools. So this is another way to install it. So this is installing it step by step manually. So you go to the website and click on the install. For Windows also there are detailed instructions. So if, depending on your architecture, so if it is x86, you have to choose this one. This is Intel architecture, and this is ARM architecture. What kind of processor you have? If you have Intel processor, i5, i7 core, then you have to install this binary, download and install this binary. In Windows, you would have a pretty good installer. So this will be just following a wizard, and click next, 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 follow the steps in the installation wizard, and then you will be done with the installation. So Linux commands are also provided here. So a lot of good step-by-step instructions or documentations are available for installing Git. Now let me go to my command line tools. It's installing command line tools for Xcode. So downloading is completed, installation is completed. Now installation of Homebrew is happening, and then I will say install Git. So this is, I have a brand new iMac, and it has the latest version of Mac OS, which is at this time CQA 15.1. My machine is 16 GB. I use mostly cloud-based development. In other videos, you will see that, okay, how I do development mostly over GitHub code space and various cloud platforms. So I don't worry about having a very fast machine. Now I have the brew installed. So let me run the command brew install git to install git. So here always next steps are there. So it says you have to run this to add the brew to the path. Okay, you see here now it is working. So now next to install git will install git on my machine. So we really this is again very user friendly way to install git, and all the configuration settings will be taken care by the tool itself. So this is about installing git. Now we have got the git installed. So next step is we have got Java installed, we have got Maven installed. Let me take you to GitHub. GitHub, because another important thing is you should know how to create a GitHub account. So if you already have a GitHub account, then no problem. Also, you should know about how to create a GitHub repository, and you should also know how to create a git ignore. So all these details, I'll share details uh, over the comments later, because we would be focusing more on installing various tools, working with Docker and Kubernetes. So now let's come to Docker. So Docker is a containerization platform. It is used for packaging and running a complete application. So if you have an application already ready, you can create a container. Container is a lightweight, isolated environment where your code, libraries, binaries can run. So this makes your application very easy to configure and run on various operating systems, web servers. So now let's begin by installing Docker. So Docker is first you can check on your machine if Docker is already installed by giving Docker version command. So you see here there is no Docker found on my machine. If there would have been a Docker, then I would have got the Docker version. So next step is I can Go to the Docker website. Let me go to the Docker website, and Docker website is docker.com. So you see here, and to run Docker, I would need Docker desktop, and I need to choose the operating system. In my case, it is Mac with Apple Silicon. So I have system. So download is documentation about how to install Docker. So you see here, there is a detailed tutorial about how to install Docker. Correct. So what is called means Docker, sometimes called Docker engine on Linux. So now I have got the DMG installed. So this is 500 MB, and then once I click on the DMG, it's as easy as just dragging this and Docker would be installed on my Mac OS. So once I got this installed, I will see a Docker icon, a whale icon, which will be the icon of Docker. So just waiting for that. Let me come back and open it. I think the dragging. Yeah, now it's copying. So you would see something like it requires 2.3 GB space on your hard disk. That's why I told you that to have the entire tool chain for cloud native development, you would need at least 50 GB, because for various tools, images, you will need a lot of space. So now Docker should be installed. I go again here, and I should see, sorry, this is the App Store of Apple. Now you see here, this icon is the Docker icon. Okay. Great. So now Docker is installed. I'm running the Docker engine. So it gave me some agreement. Let me accept it. And then it requires a password. So Docker desktop sets the necessary configuration. So I will just say use recommended settings, and I would say finish. It is asking my admin password. So I can configure. Now it will ask me an email. I can log in with my Docker account. I already have an account in Docker Hub. If you don't have, you can create one. So instead of sign in, you will see a sign up page, and sign up is very easy through Google. So now I am signed up. Sign up is required because if you are creating containers, you can share the containers with other users. So here we have got the Docker engine up and running. There is another way to run Docker is via command line. So we'll be covering mostly command line related commands. Now let me also show you Docker Hub. Docker Hub is like a repository of Docker containers. So the website is hub.docker.com. It sounds similar to GitHub. GitHub is repository of code, and you create repositories using Git commands. So that's GitHub, but Docker Hub is a repository of Docker images. Again, you have to sign up I have already signed up earlier, so I can sign in simply. And again, sign in is possible with the Google. So this is about how to install Docker and how to use and share the container images. So now we are done with setup for Docker. Now let's move on to most interesting part, which is installing Kubernetes. Kubernetes is for orchestration of containers. So we covered various tools. We covered Java. We covered SDK man. We covered how to install Maven, how to install Git, how to install Docker. Now last part is how to install Kubernetes. So we will be using a local version of Kubernetes, which is called Minikube. And let me put down also the websites which we used so far, which includes, say for example, we have used docker.com for installing Docker. We also use Docker Hub. I'm putting all these URLs in the chat for your reference. And if you want, you can try out with me all these commands. And now we will be covering the Minikube part. In Minikube, now to install Minikube, you have to visit to this site. Let me open first in my system and then I'll show you. So the URL is Minikube. Yes, it's hard to say, it's a long URL. I'll put this in the chat that this is the URL for Minikube. Minikube is a small cluster which would be installed on your local machine and you can run Kubernetes locally using this tool. So now in the documentation, we can go to get started page, and in that it will automatically choose your operating system architecture. You can just double check it and then you will get the instructions to install Minikube. So on Windows, you can download also. If you are on Windows, you have the commands here. As I am on the Mac, I have this command here, which I can run to install Minikube on my machine. So let me run this command. Even if you don't want to do it in your machine, you can try it out on browser using GitHub code spaces. So that we will cover in some other session, but this session, let's install it locally. Maybe, yeah, pretty soon, tomorrow or in a day or two, I'll be demonstrating how to use Minikube on GitHub code space, because I'll be setting up my environment for GitHub code space as well. And then I will put that video. So as advised, I've copy pasted the command to install Minikube, and then Minikube will be installed on my machine. So now it's asking for password. So now Minikube is installed. So if I run Minikube start command, it should start Minikube. Right? See here. Okay. So the command which I've given is slightly different. Have you chosen a different architecture? So it's asking me to kind of run the other command so that I get the right version. So let me do it. See here. Okay. You see here, I have chosen here the wrong architecture. My architecture is RM64. So then my command is also different. So let me do this so that I can get the right version of Minikube installed. So yeah, so here you see here, if you don't use the right architecture, it will not be able to pick up the right driver. Now I will give the command again, Minikube start. This time it should start properly, which is the case. Yes, it has started correctly. So it's downloading Kubernetes and it is also next it will try to prepare Kubernetes after it has downloaded. Then it will verify the Kubernetes containers, Kubernetes components, and then finally it will add some add-ons, and then we can use kubectl command or minikube command to create our Kubernetes clusters. So once we get this installed, Minikube installed and started correctly, next what we will do is we will configure Docker to work with this Kubernetes, because Kubernetes is orchestration platform for Docker, and I will show you what configuration you have to do in Docker desktop to support Kubernetes. Basically, you have to just pick an option which is enable Kubernetes. Okay, so it has downloaded Kubernetes. Next, it should start preparing the environment, and we will allow. It's asking for some permissions. So there are some background jobs which are running. We'll be running few Docker containers, because Kubernetes consists of multiple components, say control plane, and now as I mentioned that it will verify Kubernetes containers, Kubernetes components, not containers. Yeah, components are installed as Docker containers, and then it will enable add-ons, and then it's all done. So next step is we have to go to Docker. In the Docker, we see this Kubernetes option. Now here we have to say enable Kubernetes. So here, this is what you need to do to enable Kubernetes. So I choose the first option. So install Kubernetes cluster. So this will make Docker configured for Kubernetes. So now in this latest version, things have slightly changed. On Linux, if you're running Linux, then you have to do this via some JSON file configuration. In Mac, we have this Docker desktop. So I will also share. If you will put a comment, if you are working on Linux, you can send me a comment to this video, then I'll share you the commands and the JSON configuration which you have to do in order to configure Docker to work with Kubernetes. So next, once we have got this configured, we'll create a Kubernetes cluster and we will see whether this is properly working or not. Because Kubernetes cluster, you can consider it as a set of nodes or servers which are running in your containerized application. You can think of that you are running a set of servers, but yeah, you don't have multiple machines, but you have here multiple lightweight virtual machines or containers, and various servers, various applications you can run concurrently in your local machine. So basically in Kubernetes, you have a Kubernetes master, which will be managing the other containers. So you should note down the most important command, which is Minikube start. Let me send you this in the chat. This important command, which is first command that you need to run in order to start your Kubernetes cluster on local environment. Then the next command which you have to run is, see, this is the output of my Minikube start command. Next thing which you have to do is kubectl get nodes. This is the command which will give various nodes. So we have a single node Kubernetes cluster, which is called Minikube. That's the control plane, and that means this is the controller. It's a master which will be managing other Kubernetes clusters. So this command we have already seen. Then there's a command to print out all the components of Kubernetes. So you see here, there is a DNS server, core DNS. There is a configuration server. These are various components of Kubernetes. You have an API server. You have a controller manager. You have a proxy. You have a scheduler. You have a storage provisioner. So these were the add-ons or components of Kubernetes. So this is our entire Kubernetes cluster is up and running. Now one more tool which is important tool. So for Java developers or developers who are building applications on the cloud is Zipkin. So Zipkin is a tool which can be used for tracing, or you can use Zipkin to collect the flow of request and response in the application, and you can understand the behavior of an application. It can provide insights of what calls are being made in your applications, and it can also give you performance data about any applications, or if you are building some services, backend services or microservices, then this is very helpful too. So let me go and help you to install Zipkin. So there's a website called zipkin.io. So this is my stack for doing microservices development using Java technology. So Zipkin, as I told you, is a distributed tracing environment. And again, to install it, we have to go to the quick start page of this particular site, and here we have Zipkin available as a Docker container. So we can just give this command and this will install Zipkin on your machine, and you can install it via homebrew as well. So these are various ways to install Zipkin. So let me install this using Docker. Since we have the Docker, I'll give the command. So Docker So yeah, this is the first time I'm installing Docker. So it is unable to find the image locally. It will download the image from Docker container registry or Docker hub. Now it is downloading the Zipkin package, and then it will run in a container the Zipkin. And you can see here it is running it in 9411 port number. So this so if I go here, I can see the containers. So I have the Minikube running, and then we have the Zipkin also running. I can open this and it will show me that yes, you see here, this Zipkin is now installed in my system. So one more thing which you might need is the IDE, integrated development environment. So there are various options available for IDEs. Let me show you all these options. So my favorite is IntelliJ IDEA, which is available in JetBrains website. So JetBrains has this wonderful IDE. I will give it a try now. So here you see here, let me accept the cookies. So here IntelliJ IDEA is a professional IDE for Java and Kotlin. So now they have two versions. One is the paid version, other one is the community edition. So you may get, so for professional edition, you will get trial period also. So you can try it out for evaluation purpose only, not for productive usage, for 30 days. So you see here, free with a 30-day ultimate subscription trial. So this is what I would be trying out. So here I have this DMG Apple Silicon. I'll download this and then we'll install JetBrains IDE. This is the best IDE or best commercially available IDE. I also like Visual Studio Code. That's also called VS Code. This is also wonderful IDE and it is free. So I also use VS Code for building microservices. But definitely with a commercial IDE, your speed is faster and sometimes that helps. So this trial is absolutely free. Right. So whenever there is some major release, they will share a trial license. But yes, you can use it for 30 days only. After that, you have to pay the subscription fees to continue using it. So vscode.dev is an online IDE. You can develop Java applications on your browser without installing anything. That's also very convenient thing. You can install various plugins here. So for example, Java plugin is available here. So you see here, there is an extension pack for Java development. It includes a project manager for Java, a debugger for Java, test runner for Java, and language support for Java. So you get everything like in language support, which includes from code navigation, auto completion, refactoring, etc. Let me share you the link to VS Code as well. So this is linked to VS Code. Other options which are available is you can download Eclipse. So in Eclipse IDE, you have the required plugins for Java development. So this is another good IDE. So here installer 25R12. You can try it. So this is Eclipse IDE for Java developers. I would recommend using this Eclipse IDE for enterprise Java and web developers. This will give you various tools to work with web applications, which will include working with JavaScript, TypeScript, and Java server pages, YAML. You can Jakarta persistence, Maven, Gradle, Git. All the plugins are available here. So this is a free open source IDE for enterprise Java and web development. Then there is another option for IDE. That's the fourth and the last option, which is among list of popular IDEs, is the NetBeans. So Apache NetBeans, it's a very nice IDE. There is currently NetBeans 28 version which is available, and this is good for fast and smart development. And there also you have a lot of plugins for Java development. And to install this, you just have to click on this download link, and then you will be all set to install Java. Java IDE, which is NetBeans. So let me also put the link to NetBeans IDE and link to the Eclipse IDE. So the one which I shared is link to NetBeans IDE. And then this is Eclipse IDE for enterprise Java and web developers. So this is all the IDEs which can be used for Java development. So let me summarize all that which we have covered. We have installed Java. We installed Java first manually from the Oracle website. Then we also see how to set up the path variables, Java home, which is required for configuring JDK. We use JDK 25 version. I also showed you how to find out the architecture of your machine so that you can figure out what are the right packages to use. So the uname command is the command which is used to find out the architecture of your machine. Or for Windows, you can give command which is echo processor architecture, processor underscore architecture. So this is various steps which were required to understand your hardware, and then you can install Java, set up Java home. And then I also showed you SDK man. SDK man is a tool to manage various SDKs on your local machine. And with SDK man, you can very easily install Java. We also see there were other tools which are similar to SDK man, for example, Brew or Homebrew, which is for Mac, a very convenient tool to install tools like Git. So we installed Git using Brew. You could also install Git from its website, which is githcm.com. And then I showed you the GitHub. Registering into GitHub is very easy. So there is a good wizard which will help you to kind of register as a, or sign in into GitHub. GitHub is very important for managing the source code. So it's a repository where you can version control your source code. So let me show you GitHub and my GitHub account as well, and how do I manage working on various projects. So here, this is my GitHub account. I have various repositories here. In the repositories, I manage my code. I collaborate with others, and I work on various open source projects here in GitHub. And all the source code is available in this particular site, and I can version control my code using Git commands. So this we will cover in a separate session about various Git commands. Then we discussed about Docker, how to install Docker. We discussed about Docker Hub. We discussed about Kubernetes, Minikube, how to install Minikube on your local environment, how to start a Minikube cluster. And then I showed you how to configure Docker for Kubernetes. And then we also installed Zipkin, which is a distributed tracing tool. We used the Zipkin version, which was running over Docker container. So that was very straightforward, very convenient way to run Zipkin. And then we installed, no, we didn't install the IDEs. We saw various options for IDEs. So I downloaded JetBrains, and JetBrains was a big package of around 1.3 GB. So by the time we covered this summary, it got downloaded. So now I will be installing IntelliJ IDEA. This is the ultimate edition. I will get 30-day trial for free. So I'm installing it. It's requiring 4.23 GB of space on my hard drive. Yeah, which is nowadays no very easily available. Not the hard drives are not very costly. So now it should install IntelliJ IDEA. Let me see. Yeah, I see this icon. I can run it, and it's very straightforward, very fast as well. And this will open IntelliJ IDEA. So it's just asking, it's giving me a warning saying that IntelliJ is a software downloaded from internet. Do you trust it? I say yes. It's asking me some license agreement, user agreement. So just a formality, I say continue. It is also asking to share data As a statistics, I say maybe you can, depending on if you want to allow, you can allow. Then you will have this IntelliJ IDE, which is installed. You have here Kotlin notebooks. You have projects. I can create a new projects. I can clone a repository or create a new repository. And then there are options to choose from different projects. So you see here, there are so many generators which are available. With IntelliJ IDEA, you can do Java development, Kotlin development, Groovy development. It also supports Maven, Spring Boot, Java FX. This is for building user interface. Quarkus. Quarkus is for building microservices. Micronaut, again building microservices. Jakarta EE for building backend services. So it could build REST services, web applications. So then there is KTOR. Don't know what this is. If you know, comment on this video. It can do HTML development using HTML5 boilerplate, or you can use Bootstrap. So these are various options. You have React, Express.js. So you have Express, and this is again for building REST applications, REST services. Angular client, Vue.js, White, and Next. So these are various frameworks which is supported, and there are more plugins as well, which is for Go, PHP, Python, Ruby, Rust, Scala. So there are lots of almost all the modern development environments are there. Then once I also see this welcome IntelliJ IDEA. Okay, this was previous. So here there is a start tour in Java also. So take a quick onboarding tool of IntelliJ IDEA. So let's do this. Okay, so let me close this part and then let's take this tour of IntelliJ IDEA Java development. Hope it should be a short tour. So here there is a learning project which they have provided. There is a README file. So I can double click on the left side to open my files. So there are scratches and console. There is a README file. So it's configuring SDK. So I was just wondering why it's not responding to my double clicks. So it's in the meantime configuring, because this is the first time I am using this. There's a trial would have started now. And once the configuration is complete, then it should be ready to use. So I'll wait for a few minutes. So here it's showing this is the project view. So project view is the main window. Here you will see the project directories, you will see the SDKs, external libraries. This is the source file, SRC, where most of your source code will be there. Let's click on this and load the files here. So it's loading. Now you see here there are a lot of files. There's a file called welcome.java. Now you see here the Java source code. There's here the learning plugin. So here, so when you open the project for the first time, IntelliJ analyzes the JDK and the projects to enable code assistance. And here start with JetBrains AI. So you have something called JetBrains AI. Okay. It's asking me to sign up for JetBrains account. Okay, I did sign up for JetBrains. So this is via Google, so very convenient. Now I'm signed in. So they have an agent-based coding also available here. So here there's a sample file, I can run it. So you can just click on this run button or triangle, green triangle. This will run your code. So it's compiling the code and it's running. And here's the output. Average of the array is correct. So this is a code which will create an array. And then this is giving me array printed in the string. And then there is a find average, right? But there is a problem in the array average. It's just calculating the sum. It's not calculating the average. So we can then fix this. We can debug it also. So there is a debugging option which is available here. And when you debug, we should also set up a breakpoint. So let me put a breakpoint here within the for loop. Yeah, you see here there is a back breakpoint, or yeah, there is within this find average method. When now I will run this in debug mode, then I will see the values here. So here debugging will show you the values of various variables. And then you see here in the result, when I'm stepping through, so here resume program, then this is step over, step into. Cool. So this is how your debugging works. So setting up a breakpoint, then stepping over. If you just don't want to kind of go inside the function calls, then you can do step over. If you want to go inside the function calls, then you can do step into. So this way you will be able to debug a code. And here if you find that, okay, we need to kind of return the result, but you have to divide it with the length of the array. So then what we can do is we can simply create another variable, double, no, it would be integer, and values, we can get the length of this particular array. We can just divide it by values dot length. Okay, so we already have this values dot, or let's say int, we say length, a variable, and which is values dot length. So this is now the value, so I don't have to call it again. And then at the end we can divide this by length before returning it. Now if I run it again, okay, again it will stop in the debugger. I can set the breakpoint and then kind of step over step into this. And it will give me the results. Okay, so let me run it again. So when I run now, it's giving me the average, which is 6.5. I can run it in debug mode as well. I'll stop in the breakpoints, right? And then I can kind of step over, step into for each of the iteration. And you see here, the value dot length is 4, which is the length of the array. The values are depending on the value of I, it is iterating, and result is getting calculated, and then finally it is divided by 4, and this is what is being returned, and this is what it is printed in the output. Correct? So this program is now fixed. This is how you will be using an IDE to do development with Java. So let me see the AI feature as well. Let's say start free trial. Okay, now it's saying, okay, we need to link your card. So to prevent abuse, so here is the AI Pro plan. So here there's a AI coding agent, and the plan is $100 per year, including VAT. It is $118. So this is about the coding assistant. Okay, so maybe I'll do the demonstration of coding agent later, because here it's now asking for linking a credit card. So this setup might take time. So I won't hold you up for that. So this is all about Java development. In the next session, I'll cover how we can build a microservice and deploy it. We have everything now ready on the machine. You may watch this video again from end to end, and then you can also set up your environment accordingly, so that you can also build microservices going forward. Thank you. See you in my next video. So with this I will end this video, but if you want to ask any queries, you can put it in the comments. I'll be waiting for a few minutes to answer your queries, if any. If not, then I will close this session. So if you have any queries, feel free to share it in comments or chat. Thank you for joining and being with me. And yes, you can subscribe and like this video. Subscribe for more such videos where I'll be sharing how to build microservices and how to run it in production. And we will be building production ready microservices in our next sessions, which will be running as Kubernetes clusters, and we will containerize our applications, and these applications will be using REST APIs. So I don't see any queries or chat comments. So let's close this session. Have a nice day. Thank you.